Making your way in the world today takes everything you've got.
Hello and welcome to the Middlest, our Patreon-only show where we talk about the episode with the exact middle user rating. We want to see what the show looks like at its exact average, because every show has highs and lows, but spends most of the time being in that middle.
That big old middle. I'm Joseph Fink.
And I am Meg Bashwinner.
And we are here to talk about the Cheers middle-rated episode out of 275 episodes, which was Season 2, Episode 5, Sumner's Return.
Sumner's Return. And the description of that episode is that Sumner comes back to Cheers ostensibly to make amends with Diane, but with a deeper hidden purpose. His presence causes Diane to be embarrassed to be dating Sam, and also Sam to question his own ability to keep up with Diane's intellect.
So some context there that we had to just infer from watching the show because I have not watched the pilot. But the pilot episode involved Diane going to the bar on a date with a guy named Sumner, who is a professor at Harvard, I believe. And then he ditches her in the middle of the date, and that's how she ends up working at the bar.
I believe it's Boston College that
okay.
Diane is matriculating from at the time as a grad student.
Okay.
And she's her professor.
So this is sort of a follow-up to the pilot. It's written by the guy who went on to create King of Queens. So this is another solid sitcom professional. This is the guy who I mixed up with Fief Sutton. This one went to Yale.
It's one of the 30 guys, right? Yeah. Of the 30 guys who created every single episode of television that we watched from the years 1975 to 1999.
Yeah. Any sitcom created was probably created by a guy who wrote an episode of Cheers.
Exactly. Or, yeah, was in the writer's room of Cheers or produced or, yeah. So it's one of those guys. And hey, thankful for those guys. I'm not going to be ever pissy about whose shoulders we are standing on.
Yeah. One thing of note, this is our first episode, both the best and the worst. We had Woody as kind of the sidekick. And here we have Coach. Coach is here.
Fan favorite character, Coach, who died in real life. And then as a result, they had to have him die on the show.
Yeah. And they replaced him with we didn't talk about this, but the very strange move of just naming Woody after his character, or naming the character after the actor, which was sort of a strange meta move for a show that is otherwise not very meta.
You, who are a person who regularly names their characters after the actors who portray them.
Yeah, but I do that because I think it calls back to this neo-futurist element of you are performing a version of yourself. And I kind of wonder if that's how they thought about Woody, was Woody's supposed to be a play on basically he's playing a fictionalized version of himself. Not clear, but Coach is just Coach. And he's a very enjoyable comic actor. He delivers a lot of good stuff in this episode. I think the joke with Coach is he's a little dumb. And so there's some very enjoyable stuff where he misunderstands what Sumner is saying and thinks that he just is a guy who's ashamed of being ugly. And so he's sort of, Coach is trying to make him feel better, but there's the classic talking past each other. Yeah,
they're foils of each other. Sumner is this professor of literature, and Coach is a former baseball coach who works at a bar. So that is the thing that Cheers is always playing with is class and the very basic, rich, poor, smart, dumb, man, woman is very, that is the wheelhouse of Cheers thematically.
And this one, it has a bit of the man-woman, but it is an episode that zooms very hard into class because it's an episode about Diane's going to have dinner with this very intellectual guy, and Sam is invited, and Sam feels very insecure because he is not at all intellectual. And so he decides to read the book War and Peace in 5 days, which means in order to do so, he doesn't sleep, so they spray a little stubble on him so you can tell that he hasn't slept.
Yeah, when we were watching it, you're do you think he just let his beard grow out, or do you think they painted it on? They painted it on. They filmed this all in one night.
I don't. For me, I could grow that level of stubble in a day.
In one night, yeah.
So
Not
so for me, I could just be let's come back tomorrow. It'll be good by then.
Yeah, but no, they filmed. The process of the show is that they filmed it all in one night in front of a live studio audience, almost in real time. I don't know enough about the specifics of how the show was made to know that how many takes did they do and what did they come back and pick up, and they've had some things to move set and to move camera, but really it's done in real time. which I love. I think we need to be again, I'm nostalgic for this old era of television where shows could be made so much more cheaply, and as a result we could
Cheaply
make
and quickly.
and as a result we could make so many more episodes of them, and we could just make more shows.
And that's it for the preview feed. To hear the rest of our Middlest episode, just go to patreon.com/thebestworst, or just click the Patreon link in the show notes. It is just $5 a month, and you get twice the show. And it also helps the show get made. All right. Thank you. See you next week.